Take three. Take three. What am I doing? Yeah, not my normal kind of video. Hi, not my normal kind of video. It becomes the only place I know how to for advice and shit because I don't believe therapists, psychiatrics. I don't believe in doctors for the most part. I think other than like really fundamental medical shits, like mate, they're implanting chips and shit in your brain every single time they put you under. Like I don't know, man. With how advanced like tech and shit is there, and out there now, like I wouldn't be surprised if every time you get put under, you're getting like a Neuralink immediately injected into your brain now. Like it's getting bad. It's getting bad. Um, but casting call for like help and advice. Obviously I'm aware a lot of people don't believe in it. Gang stalking, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Just general tweakers, like whatever the fuck. I don't care. If you don't believe in it, sure, that's good. It's whatever. Chill. Um, if you do, you got to give me some advice on how to manage this shit, man. Like you got to give me, you got to fucking help me. Um, it's been getting bad, man. Like I don't know. I like a lot of the time the way I explain it to my mates is that it's not the end of the world a lot of the time because you walk outside and it's like immediately there's a motherfucker just with their camera to your face the entire time, like some silent guy just sat there like the entire time you're outside. And it's like it's annoying, it's frustrating, it's kind of grating, but like it's not the end of the world. Like so if I go and get trashed with my mates, I don't really give a shit, like it's not like I'm doing anything that impactful. But like every single day you walk outside and you just feel like there's this guy with their fucking camera on you. Every like crackhead who looks at you slightly wrong. Every like fucking granny. I had a problem. I had a problem the other day where I was yelling at this woman on her bicycle because while she was riding down the road, she looked into my car window. She was staring into my car window the entire way down the road. I could see her head. She was like fucking locked onto it. I was like losing my mind at her. I still think she was a gang stalker. Like I firmly believe so. I'm not gonna kid people. I'm not gonna say that I don't. Like I believe in this shit. I'm aware a lot of people don't. That's whatever. I don't think you can see what I see. But like I'm not gonna lie to myself and just go like, oh no, because other people have told me not to. I'm just gonna stop believing in this shit overnight. This is a complete ramble. I'm also realizing this is like a fucking retarded idea. Like, watch the billion comments just be like, oh yeah, solution, kill yourself. It probably would get that bad. Um, but like, I don't know, man. Like, it never normally affects my ability to go outside, but like, it starts to get so grating. It starts to get so grating and aggravating that you kind of realize that like, although it's not like whenever you're like, oh shit, I've really got to go outside for something. Like, I really got to go do something. It's not gonna stop you, but like you realize in like your day to day, like you are avoiding doing anything outside kind of just to avoid that discomfort of, just feeling like every person is like a fucking surveillance camera trying to watch you all the time. Um, it doesn't help in the UK alone, one of the most surveillance place. Oh, fuck. I'm actually turning into Yoda. Holy shit. One of the most surveillanced places besides China per capita. Um, I believe that's the statistic. Might be wrong. Um, but like that alone, not the most comforting, not the most comforting thing, not the most comforting fact to be able to like just never forget and never get out of your mind ever. All those cameras, man, all those cameras. It's like I said, it's not even that like you're doing crazy shit. It's not even, it's just that like the general discomfort of someone having a camera in your face all the time gets so grating and draining that it starts to drive you insane. Like it starts to just drive you absolutely insane because that pressure puts pressure on other things you're doing, like you start to like fucking tweak out. Like I don't know, man, I've had some really bad tweak sessions, like really really bad tweak sessions, um off the back of some of this shit. um I don't want to walk around and yell at people in public. Like that's not something I want to do. That's not something I really consider like the world's most fun. um and it's probably not good, especially because like I don't like you're always keenly aware that there is like a chance you're wrong, like whenever I fucking walk down the road and I'm like, this motherfucker is a gang stalker, this person is, they're like a paid actor, they're here to watch and surveil shit. There is always an unfortunate chance that like I made a mistake. Like I'm not infallible, I'm not like a genius. I still believe it happens. I believe it happens in a quantity that is large enough that it's I'm going to experience it most times I step outside my house. Um, and I think that's the problem is like I don't want to be paranoid. I don't want to be overly paranoid. I'm aware that there are parts of this um that are paranoia, you know. Sorry. And one parts of, I mean, but having that kind of thought in the back of your mind all the time is paranoia inducing, you know, like it's going to make you tweak out. It's hard not to. As much as I can just say like I don't give a shit, you know, I don't really give a fuck what the government sees, like so what, you know? It's like it's not like I'm doing anything fucking crazy, but like still having that person with the camera on you all the time, like I don't know, man, it's not comfortable. It's not fucking comfortable. Especially when like I do believe it is with malicious intent a lot of the time. I get a really bad problem at night a lot of the time. Um, like more so when this is gonna sound really strange. More so when I'm not intoxicated. I find that being intoxicated in some form calms me down to the point where like I can kind of ignore it, but I get this like overwhelming sense that there is, if I look out on my window into my garden here, there is someone always just beyond the fucking darkness, you know, like just out. If I take one step forward, I'm always about to see them, and they mean me harm. So I've got to fucking go downstairs. You know, back door's got to be locked. Back door's got to be locked. I might just not upload this shit because this. Now that I'm thinking about it, this like no one gives a fuck, man. Like no one gives a shit. No one gives a singular fuck. You know, and kind of act with what you preach kind of thing. It's not like I haven't advocated for exactly that message, you know? My bad. My bad. I fucked up. But like there's got to be people out there that like manage and deal with this shit. And I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to look for the people who aren't like fucking insane sometimes, you know? Like respect them, but at the same time, like you do see some people where they're like, it's aliens, dude. There's always aliens around the corner. I'm like, I don't believe it's aliens though. Like I don't think that's the case. Um, I believe it's insidious. I believe it's uncomforting, but not dangerous for the most part. Like a gang stalker isn't gonna like fucking assault you on the street, you know? Like it's always uncomfortable if you're walking down a road on your own and you're like the only other guy walking down this road. Like he's like here to watch me. Like that's his fucking job. That's the only thing he's here to do. Like it's not comfortable, but at the same time, I believe it's a surveillance network. Like their job isn't to like assault random people. Um, it's just to drive them insane. Like that's the point. Like it's a mental instability that they're trying to instill in the general populace, which very unfortunately is it works. Um, and I don't know. I always take it as like clearly it's on a scale that's large enough to the point where like people, because that's was the question with like gang stalking and stuff, where it's like why can people talk out about it? Why can people sit there and preach about gang stalking when supposedly these like government entities or shadow corporations or XYZ, whatever the fuck you want to call them, should in theory have enough power to shut down the conversation? And obviously, I retort with I believe part of that is part of it is because that like if no one's talking about it and you keep on seeing people who mention it get shut down, like it's gonna make it look more believable. Like it's probably gonna give the sentiment more credence and allow people to kind of believe it a bit more because there's more like very visible reason to for the average person. You know, anyone who says it just gets immediately shut down. The same with say like anybody who builds like a fucking new type of fuel or engine at the moment. You know, where just so many of those go missing to the point where you're like, you see the sentiment on that online where like a lot of people very widely believe, I would say, that it's like, yeah, like if you make something that is too energy efficient, like of course, fucking big companies are gonna come after you. You got places like BlackRock and shit that own so much in. I might be capping out my ass. I might be fucking capping out my ass. Who knows? You know, it's whatever. It's whatever. Um, but like I don't know. I think that's the part that I like. It becomes frustrating is when you're aware there is like an actual attack on your psyche happening, and you can feel those effects working. Like I once would have liked to say that I prided myself on my mental stability, you know? like to a degree. Actually, maybe not. That might be cap. Um, but it's a kind of miserable note when you're sat there and you're like, I'm aware that there are times when I am out of my mind, like I am not thinking straight, and it's not that I don't believe I have the capability to think straight in those situations, but like for some reason, just in that moment, I don't, or I'm just not for some reason. I don't know. Um, like I think I mentioned it in a few of my other videos before, where I went like I have a pact like with myself to never kill never kill myself. And like I've spoken to a few mates about that, and they think like, oh, is it like a depression thing? And it's like it's no, like it's not a depression thing. It's not like I'm worried that tomorrow I'm just gonna like fucking slash my wrists. But there are times when like I'm so like out of it, and I'm so like just fucking autopiloted, where like you come back after like 3 days of doing whoever the fuck knows what, and you're just like, I got no sense of time. I got no sense of what the fuck happens. Like it just happens. You can kind of piece it together. Um, and it's not that it's like I'm malicious against myself, but that kind of like out of control nature in your own body, like I don't know if I'll just like fucking find a shotgun, just Cobain myself. I mean, probably not in England's, probably not in England's. Um, but like I don't know. I think it sounds really strange. It sounds really dumb, and I don't know if I could like ever possibly kind of communicate it in a way that is better than what I already just have. But like I want to know that there is like a religious zealot part of me that even if I like fucking autopilot turn into a robot, like still exists to the point where I don't need to be concerned about that fucking like robotic version of your minds just going like delete yourself, fuck. I don't think I'll be too good, I think I'll be pretty pissed off of like I said when I am of more sound minds to just lose some like a more retarded version of myself, that would kind of suck. Um, I don't even think I'd be mad. I don't. Yeah, no, I don't even think I'd be mad. Like if okay, like again, I say I'm never. I think the other part of it is also again with the whole paranoia side of it. Like I'm very aware that like I personally believe in a lot of the stories where you see these people that are like, oh, they're shot twice in the back of the head with two different handguns and then supposedly zip themselves up in a body bag. I don't ever think I'm going to be in a position where I'm going to be targeted like that. A lot of those people that you see are people with a lot of money, a lot of power, like obviously people who you could see much more like classical reasons to go after. Um, but like that is still like an overwhelming amount of paranoia that like that's the type of shit that happens, like that does happen. If you don't know what I'm referencing, I think it was a Clinton case or something. Some guy I think he shot himself. Like, they claimed that it was a suicide. He shot himself on the back of the head and then zipped himself up in a body bag after I don't know, man. Like it just like completely wild claims. Like you see it in America, especially sometimes with like the FBI, where they just make some claims. They're like, you don't give a fuck, man. Yeah, they just show up and they're just like this whole guy's like arms dismembered and shit, and they're just like, yeah, suicide, suicide. This guy killed himself. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares? Um, it's kind of just turned into a bit of a ramble session. Kind of just turned into a bit of a ramble session. Um, but like I don't know, man. Like it's weird because at the same time there are moments where like I don't know, I'm not like too pressed about those kind of moments where you're more like out of it because you get this like roaring sensation in your mind. I talked about it before, like obviously about the religious visions and stuff, or at least that I had prior, and I think that's part of them. I think the depressing part about it though is that you're like that roaring sensation. It gets so loud, it gets so fucking like intense that you can start tuning into it, and like I think I hear a voice behind it sometimes, and I think it is trying to communicate something to me. Um, sometimes I'm able to decipher parts of that. It's not the kind of thing that's very legible in the way that it's communicating whatever it is, whatever it might be. Um, I'm still gonna try and like tap into it. If there's something there, like I want as much information as I can get, I might as well. I don't fucking know. But you find a lot of other parts of your life get a bit almost boring in a sense. Like I would So I've got like a crazy fucking pimple on my head right there, pushing through my skull right now. Literally a billion psi's of fucking pressure going through my fucking cranium, dude. I don't know. It's probably not even gonna come up. But I don't know. Like you do find a lot of the other parts of your life, like it's so much like a sensory overload when that kind of shit happens. Like it becomes hard to focus. Like you become like wavy. You're like I'm not like fucking paying attention to anything else because you've just got this roaring sensation in your mind. Um, but because it's like such a sensory, it's like having like five fucking TikTok screens all up at once. You know, you're trying to like actually like absorb all the information in them, and then you get to the point where you're just like, dude, I'm fried. Like I'm fried from that to the point where everything else kind of just feels mundane and boring. You know, like I'm not doing anything. Like I don't really give a fuck about anything outside of that. I'm just waiting for the next time that it comes back and I can like get a chance to like tune into it again and try and like figure some shit out, like, or kind of get like some sort of understanding of what the hell's going on there. Um, you know, so also I'm I keep on going over to the right. I've literally just got it's just some random fucking Word document with a ton of pages in it. Like I don't know if you can read that, but I keep on looking over at it and just like fucking oh shit, my wiring is turbo fucked up because I lifted up my laptop. Great that, I don't know, man. It's a yap session. It's a yap session. It's a complete yap session. It's a load of bullshit. Like again, I don't know. Again, like this is a reach. This is a complete reach. Um, yeah. Anyone else deals with something similar? Hit me up with some advice in that. If you're a psychiatrist, kill yourself and don't message on this video because I fucking hate you. Um, yeah.